Well, everybody, it is Monday. It's 6 p.m. And so you know what time it is. It's time for the Academy Show. Yes, everybody, it is the Academy Show. Anyone new to the channel, we've had a ton load of new subscribers in the last few days. So thank you very, very much, as always. And what we try and do is every Monday at 6 o'clock UK time, we do the Academy Show where we go through just the Academy. Nothing to do with the first team, although there is a little bit of first team kind of stuff in here, but it's mainly about the Academy Show where we take it in three parts. We look at any sort of new contract news that have happened with the Academy, whether we signed or a new extension to someone's contracts or anything like that. We also look at the games that have been played that week, and also we look at the players who've gone out on loan from the Academy. This week, I expect a busy week in loans out. So what I'm saying, it's going to be a busy week. And we might talk about some of my predictions in terms of players who are going out on loan from the Academy. In terms of the first team loans, Kalen, and it will be Edson as well. We'll talk about those in Tammer's headlines on the Monday. So that's where we cover them off. So no real contract news, nothing new to talk about in terms of players, in terms of any extensions to contracts or anything to do with the Academy. We've got 3 players currently out on loan. And in terms of them, Northampton Town, you've got Michael Forbes Cobblers. No, it's true. Obviously, Kevin Nolan's Northampton Town. No minutes. He was named as an unused matchday sub in Northampton's 2-0 home victory against Exeter in League One. Sticking in League One, we had Gideon Kadoa. He's on loan at Luton Town. He came on the 56th minute, wasn't it, off the top of my head? I thought I had it in my head. 58th minute. I do apologise, Gideon. 58th minute for Luton as they lost 1-0 at home to Cardiff in League One. Almost a League there. Elsewhere, Mason Terry, he's on loan at Braintree. He kept a clean sheet and played the full 90 as Braintree won 1-0 at home to Yeovil Town in the National League. He's had a very good run of clean sheets. How many clean sheets has he had so far? Let's have a butcher's hook, shall we? He's doing really well, bless him. Did he start that game? He's had 1. Did he play that game? I should have probably checked his forfeit, but fuck it. Did he play that game? Yep. So he's played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games for Braintree, and he's kept 1, 2, 3 clean sheets. 60%. Done the maths already, so well done to Mason. As I said, I would assume, and they say, you know, and assume makes an ass of you and me. I would assume that a number of players will be going out on loan this week as we enter the final week of the transfer window in terms of the Academy players. My predictions, I think we're likely to see Regan Clayton go out on loan again. He obviously last season was on loan to Dagenham Redbridge, maybe back to Daggers. Who knows? It's only just down the road. I think Julie Robinson will probably go out on loan again. Didn't really work for Sutton United, but I think maybe a National League side rather than necessarily a League South side. I think, you know, I could see that happening. Elsewhere, I don't think there'll be much more. There's still a question mark about Lewis Orford. But again, I'd probably push him more. Is he more in the... Well, he's sort of in that Venn diagram, innit? I think he may well go out on loan as well, Championship club, to get some much-needed minutes, I think. To get more, he has hardly any first-team minutes, in all honesty. So that would be a good shout for him. I don't think George, he's only just returned back to training. I mean, there could be a possibility he might go out on loan, but I think his injury, I think he needs to recover. And I think at the moment, particularly with Lewis Galere, maybe with his shoulder dislocation, that he would offer some sort of cover on that side. I think that's probably going to be it. I'm thinking across the board. Josh Ajala, no. I think he needs minutes. Josh Landers needs minutes. I wouldn't send him out on loan yet. I think Kante having a season in the under-21s would be beneficial for him and us. Understanding sort of English football a bit better, albeit from a academy perspective. Ezra, Josh, that leaves us a little bit short. Central midfield. I think you're more likely. Yeah, I think for me the most likely will be the two fullbacks, wing backs will be Regan Clayton and Junior in terms of going out on loan. That's just my perspective. We'll wait and see what happens. That's my predictions. So we'll have 5 out on loan. I don't think, look at the guys who went on loan last year. You've got Patrick Kelly's now permanently with Barnsley now. You've got obviously Callum, who's very much now in the first team squad, and I would hope he gets some significant minutes tomorrow away to Wolves in the Carabao Cup. So that's, I think, the goalkeeper with the you might see Heggie. Heggie might, but I think he's still injured. So again, I don't think they'll send him out on loan. I don't think a side will take him if he's injured. So yeah, I think that's probably about it. In terms of games played, obviously we had the game on Monday where we lost, and I don't think we should have lost at Rush Green, our opening game of the PL2 season. But then we played again this weekend as well, and the under-18s played as well. Let's start with the under-18s. I pressed the wrong button. Sorry. I got it properly. They fell to a late equaliser as they drew the game against Birmingham City under-18s at Little Heath on Saturday afternoon, which would have been their first victory of the 25-26 under-18 Premier League South season. An 88th minute equaliser in a 1-1 draw. Lewis Beckford's goal after just 3 minutes. They thought it was going to be enough to see the newly promoted Blues side, but Cian McCusker, great name, snuck in late on to end it, finished honours even on Saturday afternoon. Shout out to Beckford. He had a really good game, actually, really good game. And, I think Birmingham lost like 8-0 to Crystal Palace the week before. So, they probably feared the worst when we scored after 3 minutes, but fair play. They stuck it in and we couldn't get the second goal, which I think would have killed off the game, to be honest. Couple of interesting points in terms of the side that was picked. Callum Leacock, who's one of our new signings from in the summer, he captained the under-18 side, which was interesting to see. And it was good to see Joel Kerr. Keep an eye on Joel Kerr. He's one of my ones to keep an eye on in the under-18s. Very direct, very forward first in terms of his attitude of going forward. And I think he could be a really, really interesting player for us going forward. The likes of David Chigueda, Balogun, they got minutes as well. But it was interesting to see that Leacock was the skipper. Let's talk about the under-21s. Obviously, a tough night at the office on Monday. They probably had about 75-80% possession, but they just couldn't get it. They couldn't sort of progress it into that final third, and we're going to talk about the final third in a minute as well. They unfortunately lost, and they played Man City away. They're the defending PL2 champions. Despite matching, the 4-time PL2 winners for much of the contest. It was a late strike from Mamadou Kante as a consolation on either side of 3 goals. Regan Heskey, Ryan McKay, and Justin Obervalduo scored for Man City. Again, some interesting things looking at a game. Obviously, Kante, again, getting on the score sheet. He's been doing very well. It was the only consolation. It was in stoppage time. But again, he came on very lively. from his introduction from the bench. Obviously, he started the game on Monday, but he came off the bench at the 60-minute mark. And he scored 2 goals for Claret and Blue. Now he scored one against Woking in the National Cup, and one now. He's one to keep an eye on, definitely. They return to action next Friday. They play Sunderland away, which never an easy place to go to. So hopefully they'll get a decent result. Obviously, that's two losses on the bounce from Mark Robson's boys. I wanted to make a point as well about the under-21s, and it was something on Monday as well. Antonio played again for the under-21s. He started and played the first 60 minutes. He was replaced by Kante, although technically he was actually probably replaced by Josh Ojala, but the way the subs work. I don't get it. I don't understand it. You look at someone like on the bench, Josh Ojala on the bench. Josh should have started. I saw a very on Monday. I saw a very disinterested Mikel Antonio. He's not contracted by us anymore now. And I know the club are keeping their word and letting him, stay at the club for rehabilitation and get fitness. But honestly, it's not helping us. It's not helping our under-21s at all. Josh Ojala, he wasn't even on the bench on Monday. I think he might have had an injury. But he was back on the bench on Saturday. Was it Saturday or Friday they played? Was it Friday? Yeah. Against Man City, and he should have started. He needs minutes, and not someone who's not one of our players anymore now. I don't get it. I don't agree with it, and I don't understand why. If you want to, if there's, I understand the keeping their word, and whether this is, whether we're hanging on to him in terms of is he going to earn a new deal? But we were told he had all these deals on the table. If he is, why is he playing under 21s? On Monday he played against a centre half who was half his age and showed him up. He showed Mikel up, and again, had a poor game, didn't do much. And was substituted at on the hour mark for really was Josh Ojala, but on paper it said Kante, who ended up scoring anyway. Don't agree with it. I don't agree with it, and I don't understand it. It doesn't make no sense to me. The detriment of the other 21s, so he can. I don't know. He slagged us off and said we treated him like a piece of meat, but then we're letting him play to the detriment of our younger players in the under-21s. You can't have your cake and eat it, can you? And I don't understand it. If it is, if it is keeping match fitness, and then offer him a new deal. Offer him a new deal. Get at least it's make it official. But they won't, because I don't think that's part of the. I just don't. I don't understand. Start him on the bench and get him to come on. Actually, that would probably be better for him, more beneficial for him to come on at the 60th minute mark when the defenders are more tired, and have a bit of a run and show a bit of confidence. But I don't agree with it at all. There we are. I'm off for high horse, but I just think it just really frustrates me. I know what he brought to that. I know he was here for 9-10 years. I know that, but it reminds me of that episode after Rodney gets married to Cassandra in Only Fools and Horses, and he turns up to Nelson Mandela house, and turns up to Del Boy's flat, and he sits down and carries on it, and then he goes, "So," and then Del went, "I just got to tell you one thing, and hopefully in later life it will help you. You don't live here no more." That to me is that we have to move on, and we've got guys like Josh Ojala. I mean, Josh Landers wasn't in the squad for the 21s. I don't know where he was really. That's what we need to do now. Sorry, Mikel, not some 35, 36-year-old player. No, it's about the next generation now. And I don't agree with it. And whether it's something been implied, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting, and it just got me going a little bit. because you know the academy means a lot to me. If you like what we do, give a like, give a comment, give a share. We've had loads of stuff talking about Stay, talking about, you know, all Potter's got two games for his job. Paqueta, Spurs and Villa wants Paqueta and all that malarkey. Let us know in the comments below what you think, and hopefully we'll have a better week for the academy next weekend. Anyway, take care. Much love, motherfuckers.